decomposition reaction. How can you define a decomposition reaction? It is defined as a reaction in which a single reactant breaks down to give two or more simpler products. As I have told you earlier, there are three types of decomposition reaction: thermal, photolytic and electrolytic decomposition reaction. It is based on whether energy is provided to the reactants in the form of heat, light or electricity. We shall now try to learn the following examples in detail. Let us see how to carry out the decomposition of ferrous sulfate. Note that the ferrous sulfate crystals are light green in color. Using a spatula, take few crystals of ferrous sulfate in a dry boiling tube and heat it by holding the test tube using a test tube holder over the flame. When heated, ferrous sulfate decomposes to give a solid residue of ferric oxide, which is brown in color. Along with ferric oxide, the other two products formed are sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. These gases have the smell of burning sulfur. Decomposition of ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate, when heated initially, loses its 7 molecules of water of crystallization. So we may write the equation as FeSO4.7H2O gives FeSO4 plus 7H2O, which shows that the 7 molecules of water crystallization initially present with the crystals will be lost or will escape from the crystals as water. So that is why we write the equation as FeSO4 plus 7H2O. On further heating, ferrous sulfate decomposes to ferric oxide, which you can find as a brown residue. Along with that, gases with the smell of burning sulfur will also be evolved. It is due to the formation of sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Decomposition of calcium carbonate. How to write the balanced chemical equation. Calcium carbonate CaCO3 when heated decomposes to calcium oxide CaO and carbon dioxide CO2. Calcium oxide is the solid residue obtained, which is white in color. The gaseous product formed is carbon dioxide. Next, we shall see how to perform the decomposition of calcium carbonate in a lab. For that, take solid calcium carbonate in a test tube and close the mouth of the test tube with a one-hole cork carrying a bent delivery tube. The other end of the delivery tube should be kept immersed in a test tube containing lime water. Now, when you heat calcium carbonate crystals, calcium oxide will be formed and will remain in the test tube as a solid residue. The other product being gaseous carbon dioxide, it will pass through the bent delivery tube and it will turn lime water milky. This confirms the presence of carbon dioxide. Test tube holder, spirit lamp and lead nitrate crystals to carry out the decomposition reaction. Using a spatula, take few crystals of lead nitrate in a boiling tube. Light the spirit lamp and hold the test tube containing lead nitrate crystals above the flame and heat it. You will observe the evolution of brown fumes. It is due to the formation of nitrogen dioxide gas. Oxygen gas is also evolved. Yellow solid residue of lead oxide will be left behind in the test tube. Next, we shall see how to write the balanced chemical equation. 2PbNO3 twice when heated gives 2PbO plus 4NO2 plus O2. The two observations are: 1. White lead nitrate changes to yellow due to the formation of lead oxide, and brown fumes will be evolved due to the formation of nitrogen dioxide gas. Let us consider the decomposition of silver chloride, which is carried out with the help of light energy. Such a decomposition reaction, which is carried out with the help of light energy, is known as photolytic decomposition. We can say that white silver chloride taken in a china dish when exposed to sunlight turns grey. This is because silver chloride undergoes photolytic decomposition. The grey color is due to the formation of metallic silver. Along with silver, the other product formed is chlorine gas. Like silver chloride, silver bromide also undergoes photolytic decomposition when exposed to sunlight. The products formed in this case are silver and bromine. The balanced chemical equation for the decomposition of silver chloride is 2AgCl gives 2Ag plus Cl2, and the balanced chemical equation for the decomposition of silver bromide is 2AgBr gives 2Ag plus Br2. We shall now consider the decomposition of water carried out with the help of electricity. The experimental setup is shown in the figure. Take a plastic mug, fix 2 graphite rods and provide rubber stoppers. Place 2 test tubes over the graphite rods in an inverted position. Fill the plastic mug with water so that the graphite rods are immersed in it. Add few drops of sulfuric acid to make the water conducting. Connect the graphite rods to the terminals of a battery through a switch. Now when the switch is on, current will pass through acidified water. Decomposition of water will take place, as a result of which hydrogen and oxygen will be evolved at the cathode and anode respectively. That is, hydrogen gas will be evolved at the cathode and oxygen gas will be evolved at the anode. Now look at the empty spaces which you see above the water level in the test tubes. These spaces are actually not empty. On the right side, that is at the cathode, this space is filled with hydrogen, and on the left side, that is at the anode, the space is filled with oxygen. The volume of hydrogen collected is actually double the volume of oxygen, since the volume ratio is 2:1 according to the balanced equation representing the decomposition of water. That is, 2H2O gives 2H2 plus O2. Exothermic and endothermic reactions. When we study about chemical reactions, we come to know that there are two types of chemical reactions, one in which energy is released and the other in which energy is absorbed. A reaction in which heat energy is released along with the products is known as an exothermic reaction. See the diagram given on the left side. The arrows are pointing outwards, which means heat energy is released. Therefore, it represents an exothermic reaction. Now, a reaction in which heat energy is absorbed by the reactants is known as an endothermic reaction. Now, see the diagram given on the right side. The arrows are pointing inwards, which means heat energy is absorbed by the reactant. Do you remember the combination reaction given by calcium oxide with water? In that reaction, we have observed a rise in temperature. That is, it is accompanied by a release of heat energy, which shows that this combination reaction is considered as an exothermic reaction. All combustion reactions are also exothermic. For example, when methane burns in air or oxygen along with carbon dioxide and water as products, heat energy will also be released. Next, we shall find out whether respiration is an exothermic reaction or an endothermic reaction. In biology, you might have studied that there are two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Here, consider aerobic respiration, which means respiration carried out in presence of oxygen. During respiration, glucose combines with oxygen and gets converted into carbon dioxide and water with the release of energy. Since energy is released, respiration is considered as an exothermic reaction. Now we have to find an example for endothermic reaction. Children, all decomposition reactions are considered to be endothermic reaction because in all these decomposition reactions we provide energy either in the form of heat or light to the reactants, and the reactants absorb this energy. Therefore, all decomposition reactions are considered to be endothermic.